Good morning everyone and welcome to our GKRB online classes. So today our topic is from History Department, the second chapter of our history book, and that is what the establishment of company power. The establishment of company power means how did the trading companies like the British India companies, then the French companies, then the Dutch companies, they were what traveled to India for business purpose. Okay, but the East India Company among them, okay, the East India Company was able to what occupied the Indian land and ruled over us a long term of 200 years. So during 18th century, the period where the company power means the East India Company, or you can say the Britishers, okay, they were established their what empire during 1740 to 1765. Means what in the 25 years they were totally occupied the Indian land. Got it? Before we started the what this chapter, in our previous chapter, let's have a recall of previous chapter. What the modern period, when, how, and why. Okay, where, when, and how. So in 15th century, as we have already learned that or studied that in our previous chapter, in 15th century, okay, the modern period was started in Europe, but in 18th century it was started in India. Okay, so the European companies or industrialists, you can say also the merchants, okay, they were traveled from what Europe to India. That's why the modern period was what started along with them, and or they were transferred the modern period from Europe to India. Who? The European traders or the European businessmen. Okay, so the modern period what started in India in the 18th century AD. Got it? So let's come to the topic. What was the condition of India during 18th century? Got it? What the political disunity what arose in every Indian rulers, means there was no political unity among them, or you can say Indian rulers or the kings. Okay, they were always involved in war with against. Got it? Then lack of industrial advancement, as we have already know that before the European merchants what arrived in India, there was no facilities of what industries. Got it? After the European traders visited India, they were set up many industries. They were established many factories. That's why what in the beginning period of 18th century, okay, there was lack of industrial advancement. Okay, the Indian people mostly dependent on what agricultural works. Okay, after that absence of nationalist feelings. Okay, this point relate to what political dispute. Okay, if our leaders were what fight to each other, okay, how can we what united? How can the people of India were united into one form? Okay, so that's why there was absence of nationalist feelings, or you can say the nationalism. The idea of nationalism till 18th century, there was no idea or no ideologies of nationalism. Got it? Because we are divided in different region. Okay, we are divided in different culture, different what customs. Got it? That's why there was no feelings of nationalism among the Indian people. Got it? After that, what the process of being colonized in 18th century, the colonial power French community, the Dutch community, they were started what colonized India. Okay, in 18th century, in Europe, the French what set up a republic government in France. Then America got independence. Greece also got independence from Turkey. Okay, many European countries got independent because the idea of nationalism and socialism was emerged here. But in India, okay, with the help of this disunity among Indian rulers, okay, the colonial power, or you can say the traders, the companies, okay, they were able to what colonize India in different regions. However, the different traders community or the businessmen, they were what started to occupy the Indian land in different regions, but the East India Company was the supreme power among them who colonized India during 18th century. Got it? So we are discussing about the condition of India during 18th century. Okay. So after the topic is what the sources. Okay. In our previous standard, or you can see in our previous class, we had come across the sources, okay, which are helpful to us to know about our past event or about our history. Okay, what were the ways or what were the substances which are help us to know about our past history? Got it? Just like the sources are also played an important role or prominent role to what know about the establishment of company power in India. So what are the sources, or you can say the living material, okay, like the official documents which were implemented or written by the British company or any company, like the French were also what trade here. Okay, the Dutch people were also what made trade business here, just like the East India companies were also involved in what business work. So the official records of many trading companies were the what living sources of what to give the proper information about what company powers who were visited India or ruled over different regions of India. Okay, after that many committees were formed during that period. Okay, in administrative field. Okay, in that time the revolution were also raised in highly. Okay, that's why many committees were formed to what form law and order in India. Okay, in particular or in different regions of India. That's why the committee reports were also one of the important resource to get the story of that period. After that, the accounts of European residents. Accounts mean the books which were written by the European people or the company people, or you can say the traders. They were settled here for their business work, and after they were settled, they were wrote many things about Indian society, Indian culture, as well as Indian administrative department. Got it? So these accounts, these books were also paved the way or gave the information about Indian history, Indian condition. Got it? After that, many plays, or you can say the drama, stories, poems were written by many authors in that period. Okay, so that these plays, stories, you can say dramas and poems also give various important information about that particular period. Got it? Then during that time, the photographs, then paintings were also drawn. Okay, then newspaper, like Mahatma Gandhi's Harijan newspaper. After that, Al Ilhai newspaper. Okay, many newspaper publishers, they will publish their what newspaper, and through this what reports, then accounts of foreign travelers, or you can say the European resident, then plays, stories, dramas, then photographs, and also the paintings, and about newspaper and magazine. These are the living what these are the living document, or you can say the living sources which are help us to know about the modern Indian history, the beginning of modern Indian history. Okay, the sources, the hard sources or living sources which now till now which are placed in museums, library also, which we can get find the sources and what read about the history of modern period of India. Okay, just like many other sources are there also, like the what archaeological sources. Okay, the temples, sorry, the temple, you can say the architecture or sculpture which were built by the companies, they were also the living what sources which are help us to what provide information about what modern Indian history. Got it? So these are all about the sources, okay, which are what give important information, provide important information to what know how the company power, okay, how the traders community were able to occupy Indian land, and during 18th century the process of India colonized by what different business community, different traders community were held during 18th century. So these are the all what sources which are what taught or give information about modern Indian history. After the sources of what modern period of history, okay, the changing names of our India, the changing names of our India, okay, and the reasons of India took place. Got it? In early period, beginning period, our India is known as Bharatavarsha. Okay, as well as what Bharat. Today also we are using the name Bharata. So from the beginning era, our country name was is Bharatavarsha. Okay. After that, the people, the Mughal emperor, then Sultanate dynasties, okay, they were using the word Hindustan, because in India, okay, there are majority of Hindu population. That's why they were called India as Hindustan. Okay, and in middle period, the Britishers, or you can say the companies, the trading companies, they were or used the word India. Got it? So these are the word changing name cultures of our country. Okay, during Sultanate period and Mughal period, the emperors, or you can say the rulers, they were known as what Salatin-e-Hind, or what Sultan of Hind or Hindustan, or Shah-e-Hind, or emperor of what Hindustan. Okay, after that, in early stage, the Britishers, because they were ruled over India, they were dominated other what European companies or other trading companies, they were ruled here. That's why the Britishers in early stage, okay, they divided India into two areas: protected areas and what cadet territories. Protected areas and cadet territories. Got it? To know about what protected areas and cadet territories in brief, we have to take our textbook to know more about these protected areas and cadet territories, because in our textbook there is a map which help us to know more about what are protected areas and what are cadet territories. Okay, before I bring the textbook in front of you, okay, let's discuss what were protected areas or which areas were called as protected areas. Means the areas which are what under the British rule, okay, or they were what upheld the British supremacy or British sovereignty. Means the Britishers were totally ruled over that territories. Got it? That area were known as protected areas, and the cadet territories mean at that time they were what didn't accepted the supremacy of Britishers. Okay, the area were known as what cadet territories. Let's bring the book and try to know more about what are protected areas and cadet territories. So here is your textbook and here is a map which is help us to know more about what are protected areas and what are cadet areas. So first we have to know about what are protected areas. There is a list of protected areas. Okay, the Rajputana, Awadh, then Rewa, Nagpur and Nizam's territories mean Hyderabad. Okay, then Mysore, Travancore and Tanjore. Okay, these were the what protected areas. After that, what are cadet territories? Bihar, Orissa and the northern Sarkars, or you can say the Carnatic. Okay, look at the map carefully. This is the what east side of India, then west, north and south. So mostly the south side of India was occupied by Britishers, and these are known as what? These were known as protected areas because the sea route they were traveled through the sea route, like Madras, then Travancore, Tanjore, some middle part of India also, because Hyderabad also situated in middle part of India. That's why they were traveled through the sea route and occupied the land later on. So these south areas as well as some of the parts of northern areas also occupied by Britishers, and they were what accepted the supremacy of British government. So these areas were the what protected areas, and the some east part of India and west part of India, or you can say the north and east and west territories were there. They were what not accepted the British supremacy, and they were what movement against, or you can say the started revolution against British supremacy, because they were the cadet territories. Okay, so the British are divided India into two different territories, two different areas, protected areas and cadet areas. Got it? So later on the Britishers were renamed that areas into frontier. Okay, look at the map. The the northwest frontier means this area. Okay, these particular areas were known as what? The northwest frontier. After that, what? The remain part means the east part and north part. Okay, these areas were also known as what? Northeast frontier agencies. Northeast frontier agency means later on the Britishers were divided India into two parts, what? Northwest frontier and what? Northeast frontier agencies. Got it? They were also what? Formed presidency like Madras presidency, then Bengal presidency and what? Calcutta presidency. Sorry, Madras, Bombay and Bengal presidency. Okay, they were formed three types of presidency to do their administrative work. Means later on the changing name cultures of India, okay, which was what running by the British government. Okay, after that in that particular area they were what? Formed provinces or Pragana or Thanas. So this is all about the changing name cultures of India. How did the Britishers what called Bharatvarsha or Hindustan into convert India, then how did they were what created the protected areas and cadet areas, then how did they were formed the frontiers or northwest frontiers, after that northeast agencies. Okay, after that they were also formed to running their administrative work. They were formed three presidency, Bengal presidency, Madras presidency and Bombay presidency. After that they were created what provinces, Praganas and Thanas also. After that our most important topic is what mercantilism, which was based on the ideologies of the merchant or businessmen who were traveled from Europe to India. Okay, first in the beginning period they were or their mindset to do what business in India. After that they were what occupied or they were took the ideology of imperialism and started to occupy the Indian land. Many European countries or business communities were traveled India to work to trade purposes. Okay, they were settled in India. They were what make their market city in India. After that to what gain administrative supremacy. Okay, they were conflict with each other or quarrel with each other to show their supremacy and what colonized India into a colony. So the next topic is what mercantilism. So our topic is what mercantilism. Okay, this is totally based on merchants or you can say the businessmen. Okay, the European businessmen who were traveled from Europe to India, they were visited India or traveled India with one purpose of what business or trade. Got it? So mercantilism was an economic system and a policy. Okay, its aim was to secure nations' political and economic supremacy over other nations, like what. Like England is a what mercantile nations and India was suffered by what mercantile policy of England, because the England merchants or the English merchants they were come to or visit to India with what trade purposes, and later on they were what made what economic and political supremacy over India. Okay. So many European merchant community they were traveled India for business purposes. Okay, and what set up their markets in here. So through the mercantilism, a rivalry or a conflict was rose between the merchants community. They all were tried to what show off their supremacy over India. Okay, so after that this ideology or you can say that this policy of mercantilism, okay, later on it converted into colonialism. It converted into colonialism because in this policy mercantilism, the trading unions or you can say the trading communities like the French trading communities, then East India, or you can say the British trading communities, then Dutch communities, they were what wanted to what made economic and political supremacy over India. That's why there was a competition between them, between trading companies. Okay, through the competition, a rivalries came into effect. Okay, many conflicts or you can say they were started to quarrel each other to make what political and economic supremacy over India. That's why this competition what converted into colonialism, means where in colonialism a country what totally dominated an other country or what totally made political as well as economical and what territorial supremacy on other countries. Means a country is totally ruled by another countries, where countries what gave gave total supremacy over another countries. Like what England is a what conquering nations. Okay, England what established or conquered India as a colony, because in the beginning period, in quarrel, in conflicts, or you can say in rivalries, okay, Britain was able to show their military supremacy, or you can say political and economic supremacy over French community, over Dutch community, and what got the victory or got the trade war victory. After that, the Britishers, or you can say the East India Company, okay, they were occupied India. They took the benefit of what disunity among the rulers of India. Later on, day by day or month by month, they were able to what occupied Indian land, and after that, in a few years, they were totally occupied the Indian land and started to what colonize India. Through the colonialism, they were what drained the wealth of India into their home, into Britain. Okay, so the mercantilism, what the idea of mercantilism got converted into colonialism, and in colonialism the Britishers, or you can say the British East India Company, okay, the Britishers were able to rule over India. They took the benefit of what disunity among the Indian rulers. They were what took the benefits of what the lack of nationalism feelings among the Indians. Okay, they were took the cultural difference among us, okay, and started colonize India and drained the Indian resources, drained the wealth of India into England. Got it? So this is all about what mercantilism and colonialism. This is all about today's class. Okay. After we will discuss about how did the colonial rivalry took place, means how did the Carnatic War, you can say also the trade war between the rivalries between the trading companies were held in our next class. Got it? Thank you. Have a nice day.